get right into it. How tall are you?
I'm 5'4" 3/4.
Your size?
I'm a small. I'm probably maybe a 1-2.
Okay. And if you ranked yourself, honestly, if you ranked yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rank? Yeah, let's get back to reality.
No, I'm in reality.
No, you're not in reality.
I'm in reality.
You're not in reality. If you're gonna be a 10, we can end this. Because that's not reality. You're not a supermodel.
So what are you basing?
You're not okay, man. Check the attitude. Check the attitude. Let me just go ahead and say this. This bullshit that's running around with black women, they call yourself a 10, never say you don't. That is some of the most destructive psychobabble that's going around. Black women, you need to be more humble. And you're a Christian.
All right, family. So many of us grew up using that 1 to 10 scale, okay? It was made famous by Kevin Samuels, of course. He would always say, and don't say 7. Many women would call his show and they would say they wanted to be with a high-earning man, a man who makes over $100,000 a year. Of course, he can provide a certain type of lifestyle that normal average earners could not provide. Kevin Samuels, of course, calls that high-value men. So when they would call his show and say that, they wanted to be with one of these men, Kevin Samuels, of course, would say, well, these men like looks. So where are you on a scale from 1 to 10 as far as looks go? Just in your face, aesthetics, just on your face. And often he would say without makeup. Okay. Now, he said something here that when women who say that they are 10 just keep claiming that they are 10, he said that's some of the most destructive psychobabble stuff. Okay. And black women need to be more humble. I want to say this, family. I believe the scale from 1 to 10 is the most destructive psychobabble stuff, okay? Only because it is no indication that person can perform in a relationship or marriage. You just find them pretty. Hey, family, I've seen guys get with women and say, hey, man, I had to get her pregnant, right? I'll get her pregnant simply because of her looks. Well, that has no indication of her being able to be a mother to his child, okay? Knowing how to raise a child. Knowing that she won't be toxic and weaponize the child. You understand? Like a lot of times she can make his life a living hell if she has this child by him. You understand? Now, I've seen women do the same thing. Sleep with men just based on their looks. I've seen women sleep with men who what they call have good hair, and just so they can hope to pass those genetics on to their child because they're self-hating. Okay? And just I've seen it all, family. And so we understand that dating somebody simply for their looks is no indication that the relationship will last long term, as it is no indication that they will have character. Do you understand? Notice how she responded when he first asked the question. Before he could even get the sentence out, she interrupted him, proving that she has a lack of respect. She won't even allow you to finish your sentence. Look at her body, her micro expressions. Whenever she said it, okay, she says 10 real quick, and she starts to rock back and forth, shaking her head no, with this combative attitude, okay? When he says come back to reality, she starts using the hands. I'm in reality, right? She is at war right now. He's asking questions, okay? He has it down to a so-called science, and he's just trying to go through his criteria. But she's here combating with him, okay? I'm going to go back. I want you guys to see how this conversation starts off, and I'm going to let it roll a bit, okay? But I want you guys to see how she responds when he asks her, what is she on a scale from 1 to 10? Now, watch her behavior, okay? Watch the combative behavior, okay? This is going to prove that she doesn't even qualify to be asked that question, because a combative person like this in a relationship would be detrimental to that relationship, as she's only going to respond back with insults and things that don't actually help a productive conversation. You understand, family? So let's continue.
Right into it. How tall are you?
I'm 5'4" 3/4.
Your size?
I'm a small. I'm probably maybe a 1-2.
Okay. And if you ranked yourself, honestly, if you ranked yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rank? Yeah, let's get back to reality.
No, I'm in reality.
No, you're not in reality.
I'm in reality.
You're not in reality. If you're gonna be a 10, we can end this. Because that's not reality. You're not a supermodel.
So what are you basing?
You're not okay, man. Check the attitude. Check the attitude. Let me just go ahead and say this. This bullshit that's running around with black women, they call yourself a 10, never say you don't. That is some of the most destructive psychobabble that's going around. Black women, you need to be more humble. And you're a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
That's not humility.
Well, for one, I know that I was made in God's image, and
God knows he's not perfect, ma'am.
Right.
So everybody's a 10.
I'm not gonna get up here and call myself a 4 or a 2 because I'm definitely
well, let me. If you're gonna tell me you're a 10, you're a 10.
I'm a Christian woman. I'm
no. I said physically. You can be a Christian woman, but this.
Yeah, physically, I'm beautiful.
You're physically a 10. Then what? Then what is Beyonce, Kelly Rowland, Rihanna? What are they?
Whatever they consider themselves to be.
See, this is that bullshit, y'all. This is when I start to get upset because you ladies say you want help. But then when you start getting into it, your ego gets into it. Put your dick up.
It's not, honestly, Kevin.
This is bullshit. You're not a 10.
You can go to my Instagram now and you see that's how I carry myself.
10. Okay, you can. I don't care how you call yourself. A 10 is supermodel looks.
Okay.
Are you that?
I'm far from ugly, honey.
I didn't say that.
So I'm not.
All right, family. Imagine that this was a conversation and it was a woman talking to a guy. Now, say Kevin Samuels is a woman and she would be reviewing a guy who's talking about getting with a beautiful woman, a 10 woman, right? A dime piece. Now imagine she says, are you a high earner? Okay. Where are you on a scale from 1 to 10 on high earnings? 10, right? And you can tell that the person doesn't make a lot of money, right? Come in reality. Oh, I'm in reality. Right? Okay, so what is like, Jay-Z? What is like, and you start naming wealthy people and on a scale from 1 to 10, and he goes, whatever they feel like they are. I mean, obviously this person isn't trying to answer your questions, right? He either makes good money or he doesn't. He's either a high earner or he's not, okay? So the question should be easier to get to, but the reason this is combative is because it does hurt your ego. It does hurt your ego. If your number is dropped, so does your value, because women live in a world where their beauty directly parallels to their value. This is why I say this scale is destructive, okay? Because if you are manifesting your greatest self, you can be very helpful to a relationship. You understand? You don't have to be a dime piece. You understand? In fact, men have dated dime pieces, 9s, 8s, will give that up for a 7, 6, or 5 who knows how to carry themselves, submit and support, be nurturing in a relationship. Do you understand? So if you're talking about marriage, the scale from 1 to 10 thing isn't really relevant, okay? On meeting, of course it is. And you meet somebody, you're going to be drawn to their looks. But whether or not you stay with this person and be with this person long term, it's actually going to be based on their behavior. And because looks are no indication of behavior, that scale would be a bad thing to assess a person, right? Now, here's the kicker, family. Actually, the prettier a person is, likely the lower their character will be, simply because of how our world treats pretty people. You understand? Pretty people get away with a lot more. So pretty people on a large scale are more lazy than people who are not considered pretty. They've had more opportunities than people who are not considered pretty. They get more jobs than people who are not considered pretty. Okay, because we go by looks in this society. Okay, now their peer groups, their social groups, women will put up more from a man if she thinks he's handsome. You understand? They'll give up their body quicker to a man if they think he's handsome. This would dig into his discipline. Do you understand? If he's getting it on the norm, on the regular, and women are not asking from him what they would ask from an average looking man, they're letting him get away with things just because he's overly attractive to them. Don't you see how negative character traits would last long term? Because he wouldn't deal with them. He gets away with it. Nobody checks him. People love him even though he has that type of attitude. It still ain't going to lead to a healthy relationship, but it's not hurting his game, man. So why would he change, right? Now think about this with women. Some of them are drop dead gorgeous and they make videos about how much they'll use a man for his money, all that stuff. You can see men right there in the comments saying, use me for my money, right? Proving that this girl will be able to do this crap to the foreseeable future. You understand? Because people will continue to reward that behavior simply because she's pretty. You understand? Now, will she end up in a relationship? Likely not. She won't be tolerated in a relationship, but she'll still be able to, get gifts and get attention when she's not in a relationship, meaning that if she's able to get all that attention and get people to still pay her way in things and do things for her, then why would she see a need to change? Do you understand? likely you being so attractive is what led to you having such low character anyway. This is why this isn't wise. Do you understand? What you need from a person is discipline. You want them to be motivated. You want them to be ready for a relationship because they have been working on themselves. So I'm trying to break the wheel only to remake it. What if instead of asking, what are you on a scale from 1 to 10 aesthetically, what if we asked, what are you on a scale from 1 to 10 on manifesting your greatest self? Okay. What are you on a scale from 1 to 10 of being on your shit? Okay. What are you on that scale, family? Because that would give us a better indication on whether or not this person is ready for a relationship. Do you understand? In a world where we got makeup, clothing that modify the body, how the body looks, okay, that pulls things in and all that type of stuff. You got plastic surgery. Asking a woman her aesthetics isn't really a good criteria. You understand? Because she could simply just upgrade herself and none of that would upgrade her character. Okay. If she went out and put on wigs, cosmetics, tied her body up the right way to make it look like it was, a good looking body, right? Went and got surgery. Okay. Number one, you can't pass these things down to your children. So it's not actually beneficial. Even if you men like it, even if you men like that body, it's not beneficial as it's not going that beauty is not going to be passed on to your children. You understand? Her beauty is cosmetic. It's plastic surgery. Do you understand? So again, character flaws, lack of discipline due to your looks. You understand? Wigs, lashes, okay? Again, low value women have even slept with men just to be able to have a child with them, just to get their hair texture because they don't like themselves. You understand? So we need to know more about you. Your looks just can't be it. Your looks can't be the end all be all because too many of us are having horrible relationships with pretty people. Do you understand? So we hear about, are you fit, feminine, and friendly? Okay. That's a great question, but I want to know more about, are you focused, faithful, and about family? That's more important to me, okay? Are you sincere, supportive, and self-sacrificing? Do you understand? These things matter more to me. So on a scale from 1 to 10, where are you on manifesting your greatest self? I believe that if we have a workout regimen, if we're up on our nutrition, okay? Number one, this is how you unlock your cells, okay? I had a teaching today where I said, if you want to unlock your cell, meaning the place you're trapped in, then unlock your cells because that's the key to everything you ever wanted because every ancestor that came before you has passed something on to you. In order for you to find out what that inheritance is, you have to challenge your body. It's locked inside of you. So with the workout regimen, okay, you're going to be healthier. Of course, you're going to be beautiful. Because you're working out, you're taking care of your body, but you're not doing it to be beautiful. You're doing it to manifest your greatest self. See, often we are looking to make ourselves, suitable for some person. That shouldn't be what life is about. What are you on a scale from 1 to 10 of manifesting your greatest self for your purpose and your destiny? This will make you suitable to be with the person when they come into your life, especially if they've been manifesting their greatest self. Do you understand? So if you guys are at the dinner table trying to get to know each other, you asking her what is her what does she grade herself on a scale from 1 to 10 when you can see her face? So all you're going to do is really disagree with what she says, or even if you do agree, it's no indication on who she's going to be. So the better question should be the things you don't see. Make that priority over the looks because the looks, they diminish over time. So it's about time that as kings that we make wiser decisions. Where are you on your scale from 1 to 10 on manifesting your greatest self? You understand? Are you an expert negotiator? Okay, as a woman, can you communicate logically? As 9 times out of 10, the man that you work with in a relationship to prosper, to be successful, to pass your legacy and lineage on, you want to be able to communicate with him. And 9 times out of 10, he is going to be logical. Can you master your emotions and not lead with your emotions when talking to your partner? Do you understand? If you're practicing these things, these will make you a suitable partner to a man who really wants to manifest a reality. Do you understand? If you're just saying, I want to be pretty, 9 times out of 10, he's truly not going to value you, ladies. He's only going to value your beauty. That ain't you. That's not something that you actually even earned. That's just your ancestors. That's a gift from the ancestors, especially if you're not working out for your aesthetics. If you're just pretty because you're pretty, that's not you. That person's only valuing your ancestors, not you. So they don't know your character to get to know you yet. You are not your face. You are not who you see in the mirror. So it's about time we start working on who we are so we can manifest a greater person. Putting on a bunch of makeup and looking good might just mean that you're artistic. Your face might not even be all of that. Do you understand? And we're not looking for certain features calling that pretty. Beauty is really ambiguous. It's really arbitrary, or it's subjective. A person telling you that you're pretty is just based on their perspective. We don't even know what's technically pretty. Like, is it moon-shaped eyes? Is it oval-shaped eyes? Is it a pointy nose? Is it a wide nose? Is it pouty lips? Is it kissy lips? Is it, thin lips? What are we calling attractive? It's basically the arrangement on your face that we think is beautiful based on our subjective view. That's really all that matters, family. And wherever you go in the world, based on your culture, okay, that criteria is going to change. Some people find beauty a bowl in the lip. Some people find beauty in piercings, like large piercings or scars on your body, because these indicate that you are ready to be a man. You've went through certain trials, whatever the case may be. It could be a spiritual thing, but the people who grow up in these cultures, they're not attracted to the same things that we are. So it's actually more about character, or at least it should be. Do you understand? I'm going to get back to the video. I have more to say, but we'll get back to the rest of it. But just so far, I really wish we could change this scale up. You understand, family? So here we go.
Hey, this combative, man. If you really want to say you're a 10, that's fine. But show me what the model contracts are.
I don't want to be a model.
I didn't ask you whether you want to be a model or not.
Somebody asked me today.
But you're not. But
he said, show him where the modeling contracts are. She could just say, well, I don't have any modeling contracts, but instead, I don't want to be a model. Now, that's not the answer to the question. So it just makes it more difficult because it's challenging her ego. You understand? Let's continue.
You're not but you're not that. Come on.
Okay. Well, you said show me where the model contract. Somebody asked me today. Oh,
okay.
do you model?
Let's try this. Let's try this again.
Show me the modeling contract. Somebody asked me today, and she's looking like she answered the question. Do you have modeling contracts? People will ask you if you model all the time. He's asking you for a modeling contract. You understand? So, again, she's not answering the question. But let's continue.
Would you honestly rank yourself?
I just told you.
A 10.
Yeah. No. Maybe to you I'm not, but beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
No. So you're a 10.
Yeah.
Okay. So are there any women that are higher?
Are you saying I'm not? Tell me why I'm not.
No. I'm asking you. No. I'm asking you.
Tell me why I'm not.
No. You're not questioning. So you're on my. So you mean to?
So she says, "Is it because I'm darker?" No, not at all. Regardless of your color or whatever, a guy knows when he feels like he's looking at a 10. Okay, but I think she said darker because that points to an insecurity that she has. You understand? So again, I've seen women sleep with men and just to have a baby with them because they're light skinned. You understand? Because they don't want their children to be dark like them. This comes from your parents telling you, don't go outside, you're going to get darker. And when you're a child, you hear this as in dark is bad. So they don't have to actually tell you that being dark skinned is bad. But, through what they say, the warnings they give you about getting darker, you start to parallel with that it's bad. You start to accept that it must be bad. The reason they're trying to warn you away from doing things that might make you darker, right? And then some families might outright, really apply some negative stigma to being dark skinned. You understand? So based on how you grew up, you're going to have certain type of insecurities. And I believe that's one of hers. Let's go.
Tell me that there are no women that are more attractive than you.
What?
I'm asking.
It's hard.
If you're a 10, that means you're at the top.
It's like I'm not.
If you're a 10, that means you're at the top.
If I'm a 10,
an A plus, a 100 on a test is as high. No woman. Back it down.
No, I'm telling you.
Back it down. A 100 on a test is as high as you can go. It's a perfect grade. You're saying you're a 10.
I don't think any of you guys would say that she's an expert communicator, as she is interrupting and looking like she's about to talk, which is throwing him off while he's trying to speak. And this is what I mean. All these are things that you need in a relationship, because you and your partner are going to have negotiations. You're going to talk about how things should be going forward. You're going to talk about things that don't please you. If you guys can't have a heart-to-heart without all of this combativeness, then you're not going to have a happy relationship, because during that conversation, so many things will happen that's going to anger you guys to the point to where you're going to be arguing about those little nuanced things rather than the actual topic y'all even talking about. So, You want someone who can hold a conversation, stay on topic, answer questions, and not do all of the jumping around. You understand? I call it dancing. Let's continue.
Again, a 100 on the test. Are you saying that there's nobody who scores higher than you on looks? You're in the top percentile worldwide.
Possibly, honestly, but it doesn't matter to me. No other woman I'm intimidated by, not one. I'm not. Maybe by the world standards, I'm not, because I'm darker. You know, I don't know what's the reason.
That's bullshit.
I don't know.
See, that's the thing. That I always say, thank you for saying it. Thank you. I knew we were going to get to it eventually. Eventually, we were going to get to the colorism argument. And see, the problem is, man, when you women walk around with this inflated estimation of yourself, life tells you where.
Did you see how she folded the arms? When you women walk around with this inflated, and she begins to fold her arms because he's already called her out now that he spoke on the dark skin thing. So he's hitting home. So now she's in defensive mode. She went from combative mode to where she's rocking back and forth as she talks. You guys can rewind the content back and see how she's moving as she dialogues with him. Now watch how she now starts to settle in and starts to, cover her organs, which is a protective mode, meaning a protective move, meaning that she is being defensive, okay? So protecting the organs, okay? Here we go.
Lane you're in, whether you want to admit to it or not.
So are you saying colorism?
Watch, I'm gonna go back a little bit so you can see it.
Women walk around with this inflated estimation of yourself. Life tells you what lane you're in, whether you want to admit to it or not.
So are you saying colorism doesn't?
No, I'm not going down first off, I'm not going down the colorism path, because I'm saying if you were a dime, you'd be gone by now. Because dimes get taken like that.
Possibly, or treasure is hidden.
Okay.
Treasure is hidden.
Again, this is.
If the treasure is hidden, then you're probably not a 10, because this is what he's asking. If you're aesthetically, where you are on aesthetics when people look at you. So it's no such thing as hitting treasure to that. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm beautiful, he just don't see it. Then that means that he doesn't find you to be a 10. That at least that person doesn't. You understand? Let's continue.
This is what goes on. She's still gonna die on this hill, because it's about my ego. I'm not, and I've listened to many black women parrot this stuff, especially after that average at best video. I've heard women tell women, you should never say this, you should never say that. And you know what? The only people y'all are hurting is yourself. Honestly, I asked you just to move the conversation, but you've decided to make it about, I'm up here, and it's because of what I think of myself. Okay. But what you think of yourself and what the world sees are two different things. I am very sorry to inform you and other women. There are women that are prettier than you.
Okay.
And if you say you're a 10, that means you are up there with the prettiest of the pretty.
Now, here's the kicker. For some women, that is their reality, that men tell them they're beautiful all the time, even if they're the last woman in the club. So men typically will try to get with the easier woman, especially if they don't have time and want to put up with the challenge. So if they're inboxing you a lot online, it's probably because they think you're easier to get, meaning they don't find you that attractive. A lot of men will shy away from a woman who they think is very attractive, as they'll think she's high maintenance, she's going to be hard to get, or that they're not good enough based on her own criteria. But if they feel like they can get the woman, they'll mostly be in her inbox, and they leave with the same things. You're beautiful, you fine, you got a nice body. So a lot of these women, they allow that to go to their head. Okay, so when you say that, you may think you're this, but the world thinks you're this. No, the world may be actually, to her, validating this idea, this grandiose idea. Do you understand? And so this is why you see a lot of women behaving this way, where they think that they are better than men who are average earners, because they don't believe that they are average in looks. They start to say, I want a high value earner or a high value man because, hey, I'm very pretty. And that's what, these average men are telling me. That's what people tell me, is that I'm pretty. And a lot of times men will say that just to sleep with you. It's something that men say to pick you up. Doesn't mean that you're not pretty, but you're going to be told you're pretty. You understand? So that's just something you should get used to. But it doesn't mean that, you know, that they're telling you that you are a 10 either. You understand? But again, that's neither here nor there. Looks are not relevant to deciding a person that you're going to be with and marry. Kings, you should not be marrying a woman based on her looks. You should marry her based on her character. You understand? Based on her ability to submit. You understand? Nurture. These are reasons you would want to marry a woman who has really been working on her best self. You understand? Not just being pretty, because that's one side of it. That's just one side, and that's very superficial. You understand? So it's more like, do you have a workout regimen? Are you up on your nutrition? Are you learning more about your craft so you can be better in it? Are you sharpening your skills? Do you understand? Are you working on your cooking? You should be a doctor in the kitchen, because you are going to be your husband's way of life. Okay. The health comes through you. If you're cooking healthy food for him and the kids, then they will be healthy. If you are cooking bad food for him and the kids, then they will not be healthy. Do you understand? So you should know these things. Okay. Now, not for a man, but you should be practicing for yourself to be a good chef, because you plan on having children one day. So if you plan on having a family one day, then you know that your role in that family would likely be to cook for them, right? Prep their meals. So you should be an expert when it comes to that before you meet your man. Especially if you're an adult, you should have learned how to cook for yourself. Do you understand? Men should know how to cook too. So I'm not saying it's a feminine thing, but both parties should know how to take care of themselves. Men should know how to cook and clean, because they should have put some time into doing that for themselves. But you as a woman, you as a wife, you should aim to be the nurse or the doctor of the household. It should pride you that the food that you prepare is making your family healthier and smarter and live longer. You understand? So are you cooking? Are you studying recipes and getting better in that before you meet your potential partner? Do you understand? Are you a good nurturer? Are you an expert motivator? You should be able to know how to motivate a man as you plan on marrying one. So your brothers around you should be encouraged due to you. Your father should be uplifted due to you. Your grandfather should be inspired due to you recognizing their value and speaking to it when you see them get down. You've witnessed men hang their head low around you in your life. I'm sure of it, as you've probably had a father, a brother, a nephew, or an uncle, something. Okay, know how to lift a man and motivate him, because as a woman, if you can do that, you would be an amazing wife, because a man who has a woman who can motivate him will go further in life. Do you understand? Especially when she knows how to do it in a positive way that uplifts him, not making him feel like less of a man. Do you understand? So men, we should definitely want to make sure that we can protect. So that means working on your body, making sure that you're strong, making sure that you are healthy. You understand? Sharpening your skills. Okay. Making sure that you can create strategy. Okay. That you know how to create and nurture your family as well. So all those things matter for a man also. You understand? You should know what you're looking for in your woman. You should have a plan for your family already. You are leaving an inheritance to your child, so you shouldn't want to waste time courting a whole bunch of women, spending a whole bunch of money on women when you could be saving that money, passing that down to your children, investing that money, bringing your children into business with you, all those things, okay? Because we are trying to catch up. Okay, we've had our family stripped from us due to slavery and things like that, so we are not promised tomorrow. It is very important that we really get out here and live like we're not promised tomorrow. Okay. Our children are our future selves. And this is why you want to be in your greatest shape before you even meet your partner. Unlock your selves to that greatest potential. She does the same thing. So when you guys meet and you guys do that sacred act to create that child, your child is going to have so many opportunities. Okay. So many gifts that's unlocked to them due to y'all's work and effort. Okay, that's two people that's ready to really create a kingdom and manifest a destiny. Some of you may say, Kevin, a lot of people don't care about all of that. Well, I'm not talking to them. Okay, I'm not talking to the people who don't truly care about breaking generational curses. But what I'm telling you, if you care about breaking generational curses, it's time we do things differently. So I'm asking you if we could break that wheel and stop asking women what they are on a scale from 1 to 10 and stop asking men the same question. It does not mean anything towards their character. So we should be asking, what are you on a scale from 1 to 10? Where are you on a scale from 1 to 10 when it comes to manifesting your greatest self? All with the intention to manifest your greatest self, not earn somebody, not chase somebody's validation and affection, but truly manifest your greatest self with purpose, okay? So you can do what you were called to do what you came here for. You understand? That's what it should be about, family. If you make the scale about that, it forces people to have to be accountable to that scale, because beauty is just one side, and people who didn't get those attributes, they may feel like they're not adequate for a husband, don't have enough for a partner. You understand? If they work on all those things, even if they are not have the prettiest face in the world, if they work out, if they eat right, they will be decent looking. They will be cute. You understand? As long as they got a nice frame, things of that nature, their skin will be radiant. They'll be healthy. These are things you want to look for, family. Somebody ain't gotta be perfect. You understand? But if you've been working on your best self, we know that you can help generate, or that you're ready to generate that family, or you're ready to be loyal. You understand? So it's way more than about your looks, family. So if we keep making it about looks, we're going to keep having these same problems. So we got to stop the cycle, break the cycle. Okay, break the cycle, recreate a different wheel. What's the best way to qualify a person for a relationship? Is it asking them what they think they are on a scale from 1 to 10? Or better questions that better qualify this person's character? You understand? He may not have all the money in the world, ladies and kings. She may not have it either, but work with somebody that you can build with, that you can grow with. So if he don't have all the money, queens, maybe he has a mindset. Maybe you have a mindset because you've been working on perfecting yourself so that you can add to a man's life. And he's been working on perfecting himself so he can add to his woman's life. But if you're not in training to be a mother, you are not in training to be a wife. And if you are not in training to be a father, you are not in training to be a husband. So what you guys should start looking for is mothers to your children and fathers to your children, not husbands and wives, because you're looking for more personal things that will cater to you personally, that causes you to overlook things that would actually be great for your family long term. 100 years from now, it's not going to matter that she was dropping it like it was hot. Okay, or that he was beating it up. It's not gonna matter. So what's more important is this person's character. Do you understand? I'm hoping this makes sense to you guys. I'm gonna do more builds on this. Hopefully we can, break this wheel and remake it. If you like this video, please subscribe. Let me know below what you think. Share the content as we're trying to spread awareness, to raise the vibration of others so we can create that world that we all want to see. We all want to see relationships last long term, and children have mothers and fathers in their life and value their mothers and fathers, and mothers and fathers pass on an inheritance to their children so their children can be raised the right way and learn to do the same things and break these wheels and cycles of being born in destitute, just having sex and a sacred act. Okay. But then just trying to do the right thing when she's pregnant instead of planning for your child. Okay. Not just planning for your child by having a conversation, but planning for your child by training your body, getting ready to have this child, by bettering yourself, okay? Elevating yourself, mind, body, and soul. Do you understand? All right, family. I won't continue this video any longer. I could go on forever about this topic, but, hopefully I didn't leave anything else out. I probably, wish I would have said something that I didn't say, but, again, I'll keep building on this topic and hopefully I'll cover it the way I would really, truly like to. But let me know what you guys think, okay? Do you believe that it's better to ask somebody what they are on a scale from 1 to 10 or date them for those same reasons? Or do you think it's better to date someone based on where they are on a scale from 1 to 10 and manifesting their greatest self? Can you see the benefits in that as opposed to just asking, the scale from 1 to 10, family? All right, so let me know, family. All right, be evolution, be the change that you want to see. No candle loses its flame from lighting another. And if you were to ever find yourself in the middle of chaos, or it's in that chaos that you found yourself. Peace, family.